to the very, very first Real Life Happy Hour. I'm Karen Mackay from Real Life Meditation, and I'm really excited to bring this to you. I'm testing out lots of new technology to be able to do this, so I can't guarantee that my tech skills are particularly good, but I am really passionate about meditation and about ongoing learning and just trying to, I guess, get the most, that is what we can out of this one life that we get to live. And so, what is the Real Life Happy Hour? Firstly, it's not an hour, but it's just it's a chance to maybe quarantine some time. Like, no one else needs to know that this isn't going to take an hour. So if you've got the ability to just block off half an hour, 20 minutes, an hour if you've got it, once a week to just focus on you, then that's what this is all about. And what will I be doing? So every Friday, I'll drop a really simple practice, or maybe sharing an insight or a learning that I've had during the week, some of the teachings that I've really enjoyed from some of the experts in the field of meditation, any really great information, podcasts, and just something that you can take away and you can just use. So before we get into it, I know you've probably come from somewhere else, you've been doing things all day, it's the end of the week, and so you might be feeling still just a little bit busy, moving, the mind might be whirring and whirling. So we'll just take a moment to just settle in. So for this, all you have to do is find a really comfortable place. So you could have a really nice armchair, you could be sitting up in bed, but most of the practices that I'll be sharing with you, unless I specifically say so, you can also lie down. So if you've had a really big day, really big week, and you just want to lie down on the floor, on a mat, on the couch, or in bed, just most of these practices are going to be short. You're not likely to fall asleep. So find that place. If you need to, pause the video and come back when you've found your spot where you can just sit down and be really comfortable. Okay? So now that you've found that spot, just really settle into it. So if you're sitting, feel your feet where they're pressing into the floor below. Feel where your sit bones are resting. Feel the support on your back. And if you're lying down, feel anywhere where your body is contacting the surface that's supporting you below. And then if you feel comfortable, you can just gently close your eyes and just notice for a second any sensations that you might be feeling anywhere in the body. So sensations are like messengers. It's just the way that our body communicates with us about what it's needing or how it's feeling. We don't often check in with it. We often just keep moving along with the plans that our mind has created for us without really checking in with the body. And you might notice, as you're checking in with the body, the sensation of the breath coming in and out of the nostrils. And what we'll do, just to allow ourselves to settle in, is let's just take 3 deep, slow breaths together. So breathing in deeply through the nostrils and gently releasing through the nostrils. And again, slowly and gently in through the nostrils. And out through the nostrils. one last time, just breathing in and out. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So you may have noticed, even with those, really small few breaths, that your body starts to settle, your mind starts to settle. But you may also have noticed, if you've had a particularly busy week, or you've had a busy day, or something stressful has been happening, that you may have felt like the exhale felt like challenging, or it was a bit restricted, or your chest felt tight. So that's just a sign from your body to say that you've been quite stressed, and you've been breathing more shallow, and the body just kind of tenses and contracts around any stress and tension that you have. So it's just something that you can be aware of. All right, so for our very first happy hour, I wanted to just have a quick kind of discussion around some of the, I guess, disclaimers of meditation. So, can meditation change your life? Absolutely. It's it's a broad scope of lots of practices, but they've been done for thousands of years, and there's a reason people keep doing it, and that's because it works. But will it fix your life and change everything and turn you into a super zen, cool cat who doesn't get stressed about anything and everything goes right for them? No, it's not going to do that. So it's not going to change your past experiences, past hurts and traumas, and it's not going to change your underlying personality. So we all have an underlying personality. If you, like me, tend towards overthinking, then even when you're meditating, you're still going to have a tendency towards overthinking. If you're quick to anger, you will still be quick to anger, but potentially not quite as much. So it makes small differences. And what the main thing that meditation can bring for you is just awareness. So knowing and feeling that you're overthinking, or that you're moving towards anger, or that you're catastrophizing, or whatever it is for you, you'll notice those patterns of how you are in the world. Ooh, crazy car. So you'll notice those patterns of what's going on, and it also gives you space. So the more you practice, the more you'll find that there'll just be a slightly bigger gap between the reaction, or the stimulus, the thing that triggers you, and when you respond to it. And that's where all the power is. That gap between when we're triggered by something, or something annoys us, or something causes us fear, or whatever it is. And then we have a gap where we can choose our response. And that's probably the main thing that meditation can help with, is just lengthening that gap where you can choose your response. So yeah, it's not a cure-all. It's not going to fix everything. And you still need to do all of the things that we need to look after ourselves. So we still need to eat nutritious food. We still need to move our body every day. We still need to be mindful of the people that we have in our life and the energy that's around us. We still need to rest and be mindful of how we're feeling, and just do all of those things and be connected. So it's a habit, it's a practice. It's something that we can add in to just make some of those things a little smoother. So that's the disclaimer. I think a lot of people come to meditation thinking that they're going to just, sit down and practice once or twice, and then they're just going to be able to clear their mind of thoughts and and everything's going to just be easy. And it's not. It's just you're going to be more equipped to deal with the hard. Now, I'm a meditation teacher. I practice regularly, and yet I'm not immune to stress. I still lose my shit sometimes, yell at the kids, curse in traffic. It's not a pill that's going to solve all your problems. But it's a series of techniques that just maybe help you just to navigate things a little bit more gracefully. And that's what it's been for me. So hopefully that's what I can share with you through these short little videos. And so practice for today. I wanted something that was really short, simple, easy to do, but really powerful. And here in Toowoomba, we've, over the last week, we've had, a potential ex-cyclone and a lot of build up to what turned out to not be as bad as what we thought. Obviously, some friends and family on the coast, it's been, more challenging, and there's been flooding around and some wild winds and things like that. But we had a big build up to that. And what happens when we have, a natural kind of weather event or anything like that where there's that threat that's in front of us, and what it will do is our body will switch into our kind of sympathetic nervous system to respond to those situations, and that's perfectly natural, and it's a great thing. Like if we do need to, if something crashed down on our house and we need to get into action and sort things out, then that's, we're going to have the energy to do it. We're going to be hyper focused, and we're going to be able to do that. And so it serves a purpose in a really immediate moment when something's happening. But when we have an event that builds and builds over a period of time without a kind of release at the end, what it can mean is we sit and we stay in that kind of what they used to call fight or flight response. But now we know that that they're not the only option. So, for some people we'll fight, we'll get really angry, and we'll lash out when we're feeling under stress. And other people will just, they'll flight. They will withdraw, they'll get out of there and just try and avoid the situation. And we're familiar with those ones, but there are a couple of other ways that people can respond in this kind of stress situation when their sympathetic nervous system is activated. One is freeze. And if you're a person who has a freeze response to stress and trauma, then you'll be absolutely unable to make a decision. Like you just, it's procrastination, it's being really distracted and not being able to do anything. So that's something else that can happen. Like we don't all respond in the same way. And then the fourth way, which is a newer kind of concept, is what we call fawn. And this is a response that is particularly noticeable in anyone who's had a history of trauma, particularly in childhood or abuse. And in this one, it is kind of what as the word says. So in a situation where your stress response is triggered, you will be overly worried about how the reaction and the responses of others, overly helpful and really focused on others, including if it's triggered by the person who might be triggering your response. So that's a very specific kind of trauma response, but any of us can respond in any of these ways to a situation. All right. And so what happens with humans as opposed to, say, other animals is that because we have a thinking mind, we can also kind of continue to self-perpetuate our kind of stress response by thinking about it. So, you can start to worry about being stressed, and then that will trigger it to go on, or think about something else that might then keep that stress response going long after it's served its purpose. And so what the technique I want to teach today is really simple, and it's what I like to call the shake it off, but other people will will describe it as a shimmy. But if you've ever seen an animal, say a dog or a wild animal, or something, something that's been chased by a lion, and so they'll run and they'll react to the threat to them, and then you might see them afterwards and they just shake, like tremor and shake, and basically just shake off the stress that they've just been through. And we don't do that as humans, but it's a really great and simple way to release that stress when you've experienced it. So that's the technique that we will we'll look at today. And basically that's it. All you need to do is, if you can feel that tightness, that tension, that contraction, or you've had, particularly if you've had a scare and it's in the moment and the scare's passed, but you still feel anxious, afraid, or whatever, then you just shake. So you can shake your body. They use it with kids as well. If kids get really hyped up, and there's a beautiful song, and it's called Shake Your Sillies Out. And that's what they do. They just shake their whole body, arms, legs, and it just releases that, it physically releases the cortisol and lets it be released so that it can actually be gone from the body. So a nice way to do it is to do a couple of rounds. Often we hold our tension fairly tightly. So for that one, what you would do is you would shake, you would shimmy, and then maybe for 10 seconds, you'd shake, whole body, shake it, let the stress get out, and then you just take a really deep breath and a sigh out. And then you might do it again. Still feel it, just keep shaking it. Let it go, and then breathe in, and then let it go. And you can feel it, already, like it starts to release. And another way you can do this, and what my personal preference is, like a one-song dance party. You get home at the end of the day and you can just feel the stress from the day still sitting in your body. Put on one of your favorite songs, something really upbeat that you love to dance to, and just dance in the kitchen. My kids and I like to do DJ battles sometimes. So, and we'll try and pick a song that is like the most exciting or the most energetic, and just kind of play it off against each other, and have a bit of a dance. And that does the same thing. It's moving the body and it's releasing, it's letting you know that you're safe. So give that a go. Now, some of you may have noticed that this technique does have a very similar name to a certain Taylor Swift song. And yes, it does. But that song is a perfect representation in audio of what this technique is about. So it doesn't matter what's coming at you. Haters gonna hate. But you can just let it wash over. You can shake it off. And so if you're doing the one song dance party, this is a great song for that, because it's got the shaking and of it in it. Players are gonna play, haters are gonna hate, but you can shake it off. So yeah, you can take some inspiration from Tay Tay. I hope you found something that's useful in this little share. If there's any questions or anything where you just weren't sure what I was talking about, feel free to comment below. I will respond to every comment. And if you want to not miss out on the next Friday drop, I think you can subscribe as well. I'm no YouTube expert, but yeah, I'll see you next Friday.